guys? It's Mateo's 2020 Politics here, and today we're going to be discussing a large topic, a really large package, the full package, meaning the full topic. Beto O'Rourke has dropped out of the race. And this isn't a simple, okay, he dropped out, this is important. You might be thinking, well, Mateo, maybe if you would have been out, if you would have said this, I don't know, in March, if he would have dropped out in March, it would be important. Now it isn't, because he was pulling at 2% as of when he dropped out. He was going downhill the whole time. But at some point, he was seen as one of the possibilities to be a nominee. You know, the old days were always Biden, Bernie, and then Beto. Sometimes it would be Kamala as third, but like in the really old days, in like January and February, it was Beto as in third place. Now he ends up in 8th place. So what happened? Well, people just got tired of him. He had a huge surge when he announced his run. He got more money even than Bernie Sanders within 24 hours. He was really liked, but then I think people just got tired of him and started seeing new candidates jumping in. And I do believe much of his support went to people like Pete Buttigieg, or people might have just gotten tired of him. Because I don't really know what went down, but in March he's pulling at like 8% in 3rd place. Somehow he ends up at 2% in 8th place as of November 2019. So, very odd how he just had a just really slow collapse, but it's like, let's say, a month ago we were looking at his polling, and then you look at his polling now, right? You wouldn't be able to tell that it went down, but it's just throughout the course of many months, it slowly goes down and down, like by 0.1%, 0.01% every day. It would go down by like that much. So you must have seen that over time, he was just going down, down, down very slowly. And he started seeing that trend and was like, you know what? I used to be very popular, but now I'm in 8th place. So I'm going to have to drop out. And although he was going downhill the whole entire time for basically most of the race, it still was kind of surprising that he dropped out. Because, yeah, he was going down, and yeah, he was pulling at 2%, which is kind of low. In comparison to the rest of the candidates, it was pretty decent, because he was polling at 8th place as of when he dropped out of 18 candidates. So he was actually in the better half of candidates. You know, a bit more than half of the candidates were polling below him. So he was actually doing pretty okay, but pretty awfully, pretty terribly compared to where he was before. Although, again, yeah, he was doing pretty terribly compared to where he was before in the race, but he was still doing pretty decently. He kind of stopped going downhill because when he got to the 2-3% area, he kind of stopped going downhill. But he still realized, I'm not going to get up. No matter what I do in a debate, I'm not going to be able to get as much support as I had before. Though it is still surprising because sure he was going down, but I still expect him to see in the primaries. You know, I expected to see him going until right before Super Tuesday. So basically, I would see him staying throughout the whole entire February contest, the February states. Because you might remember my most recent election night, I actually made him stick around until right after Tuesday when he quit after losing Texas. So I would have thought that maximum he would make it until he would drop out right after Tuesday, or he would drop out right before Tuesday. Either way around the Super Tuesday area. So, yeah, basically after South Carolina or Nevada, either one that is right before Super Tuesday, either, right after Nevada or right after Super Tuesday. Right after South Carolina or Nevada, or right after Super Tuesday. Just around that area, because he was what I would like to call let me just look at the polling right now. I would personally call him a 3rd-tier candidate. I would say 3rd tier, yeah, because for me, 1st tier is like, I don't know, Biden, Warren, Bernie. 2nd tier is people like Buttigieg and Harris, and yeah, just Buttigieg and Harris. 3rd tier is people that are in the 2% area, so like Yang, Klobuchar, O'Rourke, or Booker. And then Gabbard, Steyer, and Castro are fourth tier. So basically, at the 1% area. And everybody below them is just 5th tier. Which is just decimals. And actually 6th tier is somebody who's just polling at 0% the whole time. 0.0%, maybe 0.1% is just taken out of the RCP average because they're just never getting, never being high at all. So again, first tier is like just Biden, Warren, Sanders. Second is Buttigieg, Harris, around the 3 to 7% area. That's them. Third tier is Yang, Klobuchar, O'Rourke, and Booker because they're in the 2% area. Fourth is Gabbard, Steyer, and Castro in the 1% area. And actually, all the rest I'm going to combine as into fourth tier, which is basically just below 1%. And O'Rourke was actually in third tier, and while that does look bad because he was in second tier, so it doesn't look bad. It looks kind of decent. Third tier. Why do I keep messing up? Third tier out of the 4 tiers, at least by Mateo's ranking. So that looks kind of bad, but it doesn't look bad anymore once you consider that most candidates are actually in the 5th tier. So, or the 4th tier. I keep messing up. So it doesn't look too bad considering that most candidates are in the 4th tier. So if you're in the 3rd tier, 2nd or 1st, you're doing pretty decently. And that's where Rourke was. He was in the 3rd tier, in my opinion. So it's surprising he dropped out. I'll always remember that he was just like one of those, how do you say it? Inflatable arm flailing tube man. No, wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Such a tongue twister. Wacky wavy inflatable arm flailing tube man. And the way that he was always talking like this, like that, and we would always just make fun of him for talking like this. Hey guys, we need to get this country to be good. And that wasn't the worst part about him. The worst part about him that really annoyed me or irritated me, the word annoying is kind of a curse word for me. I don't use it much, and I'll tell you why in another video. But he really irritated me in the way that he doesn't get to the point. So instead of saying we need to unite the country, he'd say we need to unite the country and unite the parties and unite Democrats and unite the Republicans and unite poor people and unite rich people and unite humans and unite people and unite Americans. It's like, dude, you're basically saying the same exact thing, just multiple times. It doesn't make you look good. It just makes you look kind of boring. So, did I like him? I started liking him more and more over time because the less confident he got, the less irritating he was. I flat out highly disapproved of him at first, back then when his ego was high and he was really confident. But when his confidence kind of dropped, I just moderately disapproved of him. I still didn't like his policies. It was obvious that he was just trying to get some, what my friends would call clout, which is like fame or attention. He was just trying to get some clout. And it wasn't working out, and he knew he had to drop out because his poll numbers were going down every day. And you could really see the difference. You could really see the difference from week to week or month to month. So a third tier candidate out of the 4 tiers of candidates, a third tier candidate has dropped out. Remember how many tiers there are. There are 5 because you know what? I'm sorry for getting you confused with the whole tier thing. I keep getting myself confused. First tier is, the Biden, Warren, Sanders, the people who could actually win. Kamala was there before, Beto was there before, but they aren't doing any well anymore. Second tier is people like Buttigieg and Harris who are above 2%, above 3%. And then third tier is people like O'Rourke, Klobuchar, Yang, or Booker who are at 2%. Fourth is Castro, Steyer, and Gabbard at 1%. And then fifth is just anybody under 1%. So O'Rourke was, in my opinion, it was the 3rd tier candidate out of 5 tiers. So it is kind of surprising he did drop out. I thought Julian Castro was going to drop out, actually, because of the whole donations thing, but he actually reached the donation mark very narrowly, a couple days ago. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Beto O'Rourke has dropped out. See you guys later, and bye.